good morning to everybody. And while starting, first of all, I need to ask for forgiveness about all the English mistakes I will do, but I will try my best, and hopefully I will be clear enough with my Israeli accent to deliver this presentation. Few words about me before starting. So I started my way in the Air Force. You can see this via my uniforms, of course, but I spent 7 years in the industry. I was a reserved. I quit from the military at age 25. I was part of the founders of 2 or 3 startup companies. The last one was Pango. I'm telling this just to put here a remark that I have a connection to the industry, but it was a long time ago. So 15 years ago, I came back to the military, and the reason I came back is that in those years, and the IDF and the IDF were looking for commanders. Most of us left the military, went to the high-tech industry, and basically I decided that I will fulfill the dreams of doing things in the civilian market in later stages and later phases, and now it's time to go back. So the last role I served was the Hatzarian Air Force Base Commander, and now I am the head of the digital transformation branch in the IDF staff, and we will spend some few words about this new organization. So what I will try, promise is a big word, but yeah, okay, let's figure out. I'm promising. What you are going to hear in this short presentation, first of all, this is the first time we are delivering out to the network the data and AI strategy of the Israeli IDF. And I will try to present it in a very high level, but I will also try to give some hands-on examples so you can figure out what's happening in the country. And then I will try to take you via the journey we had, and I'm saying this here, and I will summarize this presentation with this statement. We understand in the IDF that not only arms and physical jets and ships and submarines are winning wars. We understand that with the right infrastructure and the right skills of using data, and in later phases AI, we can help ourselves to win a war. And this is something very big for a standout military officer. And the last thing is I will try to show you some ways or methods that we believe we help the industry in a general manner, not just the DoD tasks. So, you know, a military guy always look about challenges and then immediately the opportunities. So the challenge, you know, every Israeli knows that during the last 20 years, the major problem is that we are not fighting against militaries. We are fighting against enemy that is hiding among civilian population. And this is a huge challenge, but it's also opportunity. We know that we are in the middle of the battle of the global AI arms race with some security issues and some civilian implications, and this is a fact. And at the end of the day, we understand that the technology that is out there, it's available. We can adapt some of it. And those 3 issues together are creating a huge opportunity for us. So what we have done is we defined a vision. I will start with the middle, the vision of a progressive and modern battlefield. If you want to win it, you need to fight in a multi-dimensional environment. So the old version of that is air, space, sea, land, and all these facts to get all these components together. But in the new manner, or in the new method, we are bringing more dimensional to the battlefield, and we want to synchronize them with all the others. So we have the cyber dimension, we have the cybernetic dimension, we have some other dimensions, and we want all of them, the physical and the virtual dimensional, to be engaged and to be synchronized to give us the output of how to win a battlefield or a war. Now, when we speak about data and AI, they have some features that we don't have necessarily in the old ways we were fighting. It's dramatically more flexible, and it's dramatically more adaptive of creating any kind of set of data or any kind of an AI network, of a neural network, than purchasing an F-35 or developing a new weapon for the troops. The speed that we can take this technology and create from it a sort of a weapon is totally different from the old ways we created physical weapons. So, what was the method? We believed that we can change the way we fight. For instance, we can speak about power decision support systems, that although an officer at the end of the process will take the decision, the computer or the machine will provide him the suggestion that he never could do it alone. Never. I will show you an example shortly. We can speak about AR-based awareness, situational awareness of the troops. We can change even the processes that we have. We can team man and machine. We can have some automations with or without human supervision, it depends. So the vision and the method took us to a way of thinking that we told ourselves, hey, we need to look at the data and on top of it, on the AI, as we look on a standard weapons, which means this is a strategic thing. We need to define it. We need to think what we want to achieve with it. We need to build a plan, and then we need to execute. So, 4 steps towards our vision. Infrastructure, the data lake, the weapon itself, which is the data factories. I will go into some details there. And to achieve goal number 4, to gain the superiority in the information level. Let's look about the infrastructure for a second. 2 major methods or 2 major projects or 2 major plans that we have today in the military. One is we're moving out of the cloud, but this is not the subject of this presentation. This is a totally different presentation, but it has some relations, of course, for data and AI. And we are changing the broadband connectivity of the entire military. This is a huge project, a long project. It will take us some years, but we are building the infrastructure that will support all the things that we want to do. When we speak about data lakes, so first of all, to have a data lake in the Israeli military, this is something that today looks for us, more, it's there. But I'm telling you, as I am from the Air Force, but regardless to the uniforms I wear, to have a single data lake across all the branches in the Israeli military, this is a kind of miracle. Because we had to break some walls between the intelligence and the Air Force and the Navy and so on and so on, but we have a data lake today. But this is not enough. We look about the concept, how to deliver and execute things at the edge. So, I mean, not the edge in terms of the standard edge we are referring in the industry, but let's speak about a ship or a drone or a soldier. So we have 2 different courses. One course, this is the major course. This is, we call it a cloud full data course, which means all the data lakes are in the headquarters. We have a very, very good broadband and network, and we will build ourselves to make sure that the maximum time, the components at the end will be connected back to the backbone, And then we will have the full cloud course for completeness and integration of all the information that we have there. But we understand that this is not enough, because in some cases, the edge component will create so much information that we can never be able to deliver it back, or the amount of time and the speed that we need the edge component to react and to take a decision, or at least to give a suggestion for the soldier, cannot gain the latency back to the backbone, and then we will have the edge local data course. But here is the major thing of this presentation, and we are speaking now about the weapon. The weapon of the data and AI strategy, for us, we call it a data factory, and we are speaking about factories that man and machine are working together like in a concert. Let's drill down to this subject, and I will show you a very, very simple example, but this is something I guess will put some light about the things that we would like to do. So at the right hand, we have the cognitive hierarchy. This is something that everybody knows when speaking about data up to the action level. At the left side, you can see the Israeli, the way we look at the military about this pyramid. So we have here 5 layers, and I will give you a short story just to try and go through from the bottom up to the top layer via standard thing that we are doing today. So in the information sources, for instance, we have a couple of sensors. Let's speak about cameras that got some images of objects and people, but we have no idea whether these are bad guys or good guys or whatever. And we also have in information sources the tables of content of the location of our people, the location of the jets, the location of the troops, the location of the tanks, the location of everything. We also have in information sources, for instance, how many fuel or airtime a specific drone has. All these types of information are gathering in the data lake. We are climbing up to the initial fusion, and then these sensors will create some analyses, and we will use some algorithms in order to understand what the camera looked for, whether this is a person or animal, and a matching between the person that the camera saw and the location of the nearest, let's say, troop there. And then via that, we can match these tables and understand that the guy that we were looking and we are looking at the camera is not a good guy, because there is no good guy in the area. And then we are climbing to the advanced data utilization, and in some components, we can even target this guy. Now we know he is bad guy, and we can even understand who is it and to which brigade it belongs, or what are his intentions according to some other sensors and other matchings that we can do at the yellow layer of the advanced data utilization. And now we can go to the advanced insights. So we have our bad guy. We know who is it. We know his intentions. We know where is the nearest drone that has enough airtime. So we can target a specific force to this guy. And we can, first of all, tell this force or whatever, hey, we are matching you a drone. Go to this place. We can even tell this force by some other information sources what are the weaknesses, where is the where are the points that he may be detected, or may be alerted, or may be hit, by the way. And maybe in the future, and sometimes even today, we can even go to the action. So a machine will do the action and not a bunch of people. So this is the way we are climbing from the information source up to the action. And now let's see which kind of data factories we have in the military. So we have our data lake down there. We created few data factories according to the branches. We have data factory for the Air Force, for the Navy, and for the ground forces, but we also created some regional data factories according to the regions of our commands. So we have the Northern Command, the Southern Command, and of course, the Central Command. We also build factories according to effort. So we have a major effort of fire. So we have a fire factory. I will show it to you in a minute. We have an enemy data factory, mostly happens in the intelligence. And we also do play, engage, create some data factories of human resources and logistics. For instance, we can know in advance when the next engine needs to be replaced, or we can know trends on human resources of the military. So data factories is something very, very important for us. And as much as we will build, it will not be enough. But here is the magic. All these factories are connected. So each statement or each fusion or each conclusion that is being made in a single factory can be shared, must be shared, so some other data factories can use it. Example, two jets. Here we have, I think this is F-35s, and something like 10 targets. We need an officer that will connect the targets to these two jets. So it looks in this picture very simple. I mean, let's prioritize targets. Let's understand which kind of weapons these two jets have. What are the limitations of these weapons? What is the weather? What is the GPS status? And so on and so on. 10 targets, two jets. We can do it easily. It will take us some few seconds. We will do it. But the question is, what's happening here? This is the battlefield. The IDF today is preparing itself to a war. This is the southern part of Lebanon. We have there thousands of targets. And we have hundreds of warriors. We have ships, jets, drones, anything that shoots something. Now imagine to yourself all the restrictions that we have. We have different priorities. The priorities of the targets are being changed during the daytime due to the war, because it's a game. So it's a challenge and things are changing. We have weather that is changed. The weapons are totally different between all these warriors, and so on and so on and so on. Today, not today anymore, but until a few months, this question was solved by people. A lot of people, and you may guess that the results were, it depends. Depends on the skills, depends on many, many parameters. So what we have done is we created on top of a data lake of all this information, a file factory. We have in the middle the Maestro component, which this is a program that help the central headquarters of the IDF to orchestrate and define some directives for the entire, let's say, entire battlefield. So they can tell us, hey, we want to achieve A, B, C. We can drill down, and at the end of the day, top priority A of a mission, for instance, reduce the amount of rockets that are shooting towards Israel. Down there, a specific jet will target a specific target. How it happens? We have the Warrior application at the left side. This application is the middle layer that we provide a program to the people who are in charge about mission. For instance, I'm in charge about the anti-tank missiles. I need to reduce the number of anti-tank missiles. I'm in charge about destroying the rockets. So I have here the ways and means that I can use. I have all the targets. I need to prioritize them. And then at the end of the day, I am telling myself, in order to achieve goal A, I need to attack targets 1, 5, and 7. This kind of application is being used by all the warriors. And now comes the Force AI at the right side. It takes all the information from all the warriors with all the information of the battlefield, and while using algorithms and while using some AI capabilities, we will create a plan. So today, or up to today, this is, by the way, in a production state today, but up to a few months, we did it by people. The results were, depends, as I said before. So this is the weapon, we call it data factory, and if we are creating all of them, we will create them. Basically, we imagine that we can climb up to step number 4 and to gain the information superiority. So let's speak about, we can locate our enemies that we spoke about before by having a factory, a data factory. We can know within a sector or cyber dimension, we can know everything, again, by manipulating and using some algorithms on the data lakes. We want to open the gap. We want to open the gap between us and the enemy while using data, first of all data, and then algorithms and AIs on top of the data. And of course, we are not forgetting the challenges of information protection and so on, but this is not the subject of this presentation. Going for the human perspective, we are enhancing the R&D centers. We are building new assets at the southern part of Israel. We have the obligation, but also the privilege to take all the young people, my kids, your kids, 18 years old. We have the luxury of taking them to the military, and the guys from them that having the skills to join the technology branches of the military, to educate them and to use their talent. Of course, at the end of this period, we will deliver them back to the open market of the Israeli industry. And we also created some data professions in the Israeli Defense Forces. At the old times, we had only, let's say, programmer or network engineer and so on. Today, we have all these types of professions inside the IDF. We are not looking, when we speak about strategy, the data and AI strategy is not referring just for the operational level. It also refers to the organizational level. We have today already factories that deal with health appointments, or doctor appointments. We have some factories that helping us to deal with the human resource, to deal with the logistics, to deal with many things. So we understand these two circles are connected together, and the strategy handles both of them together. What is on our roadmap? So we approved the data and AI strategy with the chief of staff a couple of weeks ago. We just started to gain people and to create a data and AI department under my command. This month, we are starting to implement the data and AI plan for this year, but all these 3 steps are just serving step number 4. Step number 4, this is a major, I think for us and for the IDF in general, we understand that in the next 2 months, we are going to have a 5 years plan with assets, with goals, with budget, how we want ourselves to look like in this area in 5 years from now. And this is something very unique. Usually we have 5 years plan for buying weapons. We understand that data and AI, at least at the operational level, it's a weapon. As for the country and what we contribute to our nation, so at the end of the day, some of the things that we are doing is that we are doing this with the academy and with some startup companies. At the end of the day, we have some assets in the IDF that they are in the skills of the top edge engineers and with hands-on and experience using the AI in a real environment, in a production environment. We deliver back to the society talents at the end of the day, very experienced, and some of them with academic education. And we are also, with our journey to the cloud, we understand that at the end of this journey, we will deliver to back to the society engineers that have a cloud hands-on capabilities and skills, which is also important. To wrap up this short presentation, we are in a journey of a digital transformation within the IDF. We're at the beginning. We have a long way to do, but we are very enthusiastic and we have energy to do that. The AI and data science are already a major asset for fighting and winning a war. And for a guy wearing uniforms like me, this is not something easy to adapt in our brain. By the way, the order is the opposite. First of all, data, and then AI. And at the end of the day, we understand that this is just the tip of the iceberg. We are just at the beginning. We have some very nice success stories already, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. We will discover all of it. Don't worry. Thank you for your time and have a great week.
Wow, Brigadier General Aviad Dagan, I must tell you, fascinating presentation. I already just look back here, where is my uniform? I want to rejoin again. Amazing, a lot of questions, but we know you're a very busy person and the time. Again, thank you very much, Aviad.
Thank you, have a nice day.